Oh, we're live? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, I was checking other stuff. Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is Loshak in the Bag show for Friday, March 2nd. Jimmy the Bag, we are in the heart of college basketball insanity, and I was able to look at some of the games, not all of them. I was able to look at some of the pro games, not all of them. I know you looked at all the pro games, right, Jim?
Every game in their entirety.
All right, and you also tweeted out a pick, Wisconsin, right? That game's already started, but you tweeted it out to get it in on your record, right?
First half and full game.
That's right. We gave Wisconsin. He gave Wisconsin first half +7 -110, and Wisconsin +12 -108. Juanma, good looking out. Thanks for letting me know we were live. I appreciate that. Good looking out. Yeah. All right. Do you want to quickly talk for 3 seconds about why you liked Wisconsin here, doubling up?
I believe a couple things. One, that teams who've played the day before start stronger than teams that are coming in off of a break. I like Loyola, Chicago, but I'm not taking them on the first half. I think Wisconsin has come together. It all started at the retirement of Frank the Tank's jersey, and they're a team on the rise. And this is a nice big double-digit spread.
All right.
I think they can cover.
Thanks. Okay, very, very, very good. Jimmy the Bag. So once again, Jimmy the Bag is starting things off with Wisconsin first half +7 -110 and +12 -108. And I believe that game is already off, is already started. All right. So yesterday in general, I don't know, what did we learn? It wasn't that, well, first of all, Jimmy the Bag killed it in NHL. Big bounce back in NHL. NBA was kind of a mixed bet. Well, no, NBA was terrible. NBA was terrible.
Yeah,
we both had terrible days. For some reason, I'm okay with my pick on Minnesota Portland first half over, but I just threw on Brooklyn late. I don't even know. It's not because someone else said they liked it. I just was like, I guess it was, but a
lot of people liked it, and I could understand the play.
Yeah.
And it was close. I mean, the game went to OT.
Sure, it was close. And then, Jim, the line moves kind of told a different story from what you like, Jim. And I'm gonna be paying closer attention to line moves in NBA, especially with totals. And then college basketball was a mixed bag. Great call on the overs in North Florida, Gulf Coast. So the Jim had to take a push on his play there. But Evansville, what happened there? Did you look into that? What happened, Jim?
I just think Koch's ankle is fine. I'm fading Northern Iowa today in an hour.
Jeez. What happened there?
It was just a loss.
Yeah.
Is what happened there.
And then I thought Tulane might be a good bet. That was a terrible call, right, Jim? They got dominated, man. Cincinnati was motivated to dominate them, right? What the hell happened there? Did you look at what happened in that game, Jim? No?
I did. I just,
what happened?
It's a great defense. Against a very, very weak. Okay, I'm on the chat now. Sorry, it took a little while. We didn't have the show tweeted out, but I'm with you guys, man. With you guys.
Cincinnati was no joke on that one. Wow, they didn't tweet it out again?
Yes.
Why not? They got to tweet the links out.
It's all good, man.
Is that important that people get it tweeted?
I do think it's important.
Hey, Juanma, is there any way we can get this show tweeted out?
I'm not really sure, man.
No.
It should be a way.
Am I going to have to take some of my salary
account and tweet the show?
All right. Okay. I mean, do the higher ups know what these people say about this show, Jim? I don't think they do.
I have not been having long conversations with the higher ups.
Or it's possible that the higher ups definitely know what people are saying about this show and just don't fucking give a shit. All right, that could possibly be it, but we will try to get it tweeted out in upcoming weeks. All right, so let's see. Whoa, Dylan S has just put my mortgage on Wisconsin first half +7. Wow, so a lot of people liking that one, Jim.
Let's take it to the bank.
A lot of people agreeing with you. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Wow, Dylan S really liking it. Okay, let's just scanning for some comments here. May lost, pay lost away. Crazy day yesterday. Yes, it was. Bill Butler, how about them Kings? I assume he's talking about L.A. Once again, Jimmy had a huge bounce back in hockey. That's going to happen with Jim. A bunch of his big underdogs cashed last night, and when that happens, he starts to have
Did I not absolutely nail that Sharks Blackhawks situation to a fucking T? I think that to be honest, I think that's my best work of the whole hockey season, was saying that after this AHL goalie comes up and shuts him down, that we'll have the tape on him, we'll study the tape, and then absolutely light him up.
That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable, Jim. You even took the over at 5 minus 130. Didn't need that one. I should have just. Oh, here you go. Oh, here you go. Here's a comment from Steve. Steve's comment: best show on YouTube. I watch it every morning. Best show. No big deal. YouTube is like what? It's like kind of a small deal, right? You know, kind of a small deal, right?
I like the sounds of that, Steve.
Yeah, I like the sounds of that. Thank you so much, Steve. Best show on YouTube. No big deal. Whatever. No big deal. Not a big deal there. Thank you very much, Steve. All right, I guess let's move on to college basketball. All the early comments coming in are on college basketball, so let's jump into it, right, Jim? King Rail took Michigan State minus 11, Loyola Chicago minus 6, and Buffalo. Justin Searcy, college basketball leans today. Drake plus 3 or money line. We'll talk about that. Buffalo first half. Murray State minus 4.5. Rhode Island plus 1.5. Illinois State plus 1, and Nebraska plus 4.5. Jim, I know that. You always do a bang up job covering the pros every morning. How much of the college basketball card did you get to? Not much.
Very, very little.
Very little?
There was a huge card in both NHL and NBA, so it was a very, very early morning, and it took a long time. And I felt like I needed to give both the NHL and NBA extra attention because I turned it around yesterday in NHL, and I'm not had a bad day in NBA, so I put all of my energy into it. But I know these teams well at this time of the year, so I'll let you lead the way and kind of add when I can.
All right. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. There is one play that I think I'm definitely 100%. I think I'm definitely going to give. All right, Jim. I've been having a little bit of a down extended run here in college basketball, but I got to think that Ohio State is a good bet against Penn State, right? Ohio State was great this year, Jim, but they lost to Penn State twice. Now, I'm not one of these believers in that theory that it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, unless you're a team like Ohio State that is, one of an elite team and has lost to one particular team twice during the year. Also, Penn State's leading rebounder was out. Now, they were playing well without him. But, now they're going to have to do it again on a back-to-back. Penn State is a very, very, very impressive team overall. They deal with injuries well, great against the spread, just an impressive team. But I have to think that Ohio State's the play here, Jim. Do you understand what I'm saying here, Jim?
I do. And the line is moved in that direction.
Yes, and Tomore comes in, and he says, I like Ohio State minus 4.5.
Oh, man. M. King saying Alabama A&M here. I also watch your show on YouTube while delivering in my UPS truck.
Oh, very nice.
We love that
very
shit,
nice,
man.
Very nice. That's so awesome. M. King just said, Alabama A&M here. I also watch your show on YouTube while delivering in my UPS truck. I save all these comments, Jim. I just did a backup of all the comments that I've saved. It took me 2 hours to back all the comments up.
Nice.
Oh, God, I love it. This is what I live for. I want to be buried with a printout of all these comments from these shows when I die.
Tomore is with you. Says Penn State banged up. Ohio State was struggling with Cam Williams out the second matchup. I think Ohio State is a good play here. Penn State depends heavily on Carr. He's a great guard.
JCan38 says, I want a Loshak Halloween mask. Oh, my God. We got to make those. Wanma, how much would it cost? Wanma knows everything. Wanma's the guy who can make anything happen. Can we make a Loshak Halloween mask and mass produce it and send it out to these people who want one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do it, yeah.
Wanma with a confident yes. If Wanma says it can be done, then it can be done as far as I'm concerned. All right.
Melee Payless Way was on Penn yesterday, likes Ohio State today.
Got to be on Ohio State today. All right, I'm taking it. I'm definitely going to take the first half. Let me just find these lines. I'm thinking maybe about being a little bit of a pussy here.
Go ahead. Interesting. Mutt
Beast. Yes, he loves Ohio State.
And he says, I will be off of them tonight.
Really? He's not taking them?
He says, I'm an Ohio State fan, and I will be off of them tonight.
Really? Do you think if we ask Mutt Beast to expand a little bit, do you think that's a totally futile thing to ask? Like, there's no way, like, if he's got any more words in that?
No, I do. I'm very excited to hear what Mutt Beast's rationale behind that call is.
All right, Mutt Beast, if you could tell us why you don't like Ohio State tonight, because I think it's a no. I mean, Penn State's impressive. That's the only reason why I wouldn't want to take it, because a lot of times these are impressive teams in the conference tournaments. When they start winning, they just start winning and covering, even if guys get injured, even if guys are questionable with ankle injuries and they're playing on 3 back-to-backs. And that might be what we might see from Penn State in this tournament. That would not be a shock. But I'm going to take Ohio State first half -2, -115. That's the current line at Bookmaker and at Bet365. And the full game is 4.5 or 5. It's headed up. Let me just check what the money line is here for Ohio State. And the money line here is, where the hell is that one? Oh, and by the way, I just got reminded how much of a not no balls play. What am I looking for? How much of a courageous play was taking Louisville yesterday plus the points? I knew, just in my experience as a handicapper, I've been doing this for a long time, I knew that was the right play. But even after all these years, Jim, I just cannot make myself pull the trigger in certain situations. You know what I'm saying?
It was wild. And for all those guys who took...
who had the balls,
But the guys who took Louisville on the money line, I was just heartbroken. I mean, that last 9.9 seconds was just unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily say that I would have taken a lot of money line, but I knew that getting the points in that spot, the line was telling you to take Louisville, and I just didn't have the balls. 2018 is I'm gonna try to make it the summer of balls for Peter Loshak.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the summer of balls. Jim, if you want to try to join me on that one, you are more than welcome to. All right,
you're inviting me to your summer of balls.
Yes, summer of balls. To join me in a summer of balls. All right, I'm gonna take Ohio State, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm doing a little bit of a weak sauce move here. I'm gonna take them on the money line. Ohio State money line minus 185 is the current line at UWager, because Penn State, they're a scrappy team. They might get blown out, but they might battle. I like Ohio State to pull it out late one way or the other, and I'm going to take Ohio State money line minus 185 and the first half minus 2, minus 115. And I think that's got to be a solid play. Any comments coming in?
Yeah. There's some non-basketball related stuff.
About what?
Our man Big Dick Donnie's lost in San Diego looking for Mimi as we speak.
No. We're going to do more Mimi shit today?
Well, Dan Kelly says that I should let you know that when everybody left the room, I did post to Mimi that I was all alone in the room now.
All right. For anyone who doesn't know, yesterday it was a crazy, wacky show. We had an actual whore in the comment section, not a whore bot. Not a bot from a website or something like that. An actual whore who responded to our comments, and we had a lot of fun yesterday.
Lou Chase Fox says that Mimi wants in on that summer of
Oh,
balls.
no, here we go. All right, let's not turn this into a... Maybe in the afternoon we'll do a lot more Mimi talk. But, huge people are now new inside joke. Mimi the whore joined us yesterday. a live actual whore. And I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I think a whore is we're all whores.
We're all whores.
Some of us sell our bodies. Some of us sell our souls. You know what I'm saying?
We're all whores.
Yeah, like what's more shameful, to sell your body or to sell your soul?
That's going to be on a t-shirt every day.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
What are you guys selling?
What?
What are you guys selling?
I sell my soul. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like that, I think that's more embarrassing and shameful than selling your body. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, let's get back to college basketball. Jim, I don't know if you looked at this game, and you're not going to have a chance to look at it in the 6 o'clock show because it goes off at 5:30 Eastern time. But Detroit against Green Bay. Did you catch that matchup?
Oh, I will hammer this, and I'll have an official pick before. I'll tweet it out. I'll have it before the game starts. Yeah.
All right, because that game starts at 5:30 Eastern time, so we won't be able to talk about it in the 6 o'clock show, although we will have a second half play there. Obviously, Green Bay turned a little bit of a corner late in the season. Their last game was a blowout win over Detroit. Now I know the conference tournament is being played in Detroit. It's not technically a home game for Detroit, but it is a home city game. The market has made a big move in favor of Detroit, and it's got me scratching my head, Jim. Green Bay opened at -4. Now they're down to -1.5, and Green Bay was doing great at the end of the year. ATS wise, they had some nice results against some tough teams, and of course their exclamation point at the end of the regular season was a dominant 30-point blowout win over these same Detroit Mercy Titans.
Yeah, that's a wild move. I'm looking forward to cap that game.
Yeah, that game I think we're going to have to cover because I definitely want to get to that, but it's, again, by the 6 o'clock show it will have been off. Let's see if there's any comments in there because I was thinking that Detroit is a good play here, if not a great play. Are there any comments coming in? Jim, why don't you monitor the comments while I cover these games, and then if anyone has handicapping opinions, just shout them out because I would really like to see if anyone has an opinion on this Detroit Green Bay game because I was thinking Green Bay is the play here, right? They beat them 1-0. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't a 30-point loss. It was the first half where they blew them out, and then it was closer. But it was still a 10-point win, a big as an underdog. And before that, Green Bay, of course, had an upset win over Oakland as a double-digit road dog. So Green Bay was doing great at the end of the year, right?
They
Jim?
were doing exceptional, and that was a huge statement game, statement victory over Oakland.
And then the road game before that, they were a 16.5-point dog against Northern Kentucky. We know what a good team that is, and they lost that one by 6. So they covered that one easily. Before that, they were a 14-point dog at Wright State. We know how good Wright State is. They lost that one by 4. So Wisconsin-Green Bay was really turning a big corner, and we know how mediocre at best Detroit is, right, Jim?
Yeah, so we have the people coming in. Antoine Seymour says Green Bay owns Detroit. Green Bay rolls.
Yeah.
Charles Tapley says I'd lean Green Bay. Eric Ross says I love the over in Green Bay, Detroit. Justin Searcy says Detroit is in play. Neither one of these teams play defense. Might as well take the damn dog. I don't like that game. BMM says Green Bay first half. Scotty Rock forever says I got Detroit, Green Bay over 164.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking the first half over on that one for sure. Dylan S. saying fade the market, Loshak. I'm telling you, take Green Bay. All right, let me just decide what I want to do here. Go ahead. Comments coming in.
That's all really. Scotty Rock says the line's now moved up to 166.
Yeah.
Eric Ross says it's gone over the last 2 times they've played.
All right, I'm going to fade the market here, Jim. I'm not going to double up, but I'm going to take a Wisconsin Green Bay. What? Oh, no.
Oh, Black Dick Darnell says all of Mimi's future appointments will be booked through me from now on. Respect.
All right. Listen, I'm going to fade the market here. I know that's a dangerous thing to do, but look what happened when we all liked Evansville yesterday, and the market moved in Northern Iowa's favor, but I'm going to take Wisconsin Green Bay to start -1.5, -110. That is on the full game. That's an official pick, and I think I'm going to throw on the first half over as well. Let me find that one. Where the hell is that one? Where is it? Sorry, got to find it. So many games here. Detroit Green and yeah, the first half 79. I'll take that one. Wisconsin Green Bay first half over 79 -110. How easy was this? Is another North Florida Gulf Coast first half over type play. How easy was that one yesterday, Jim? Just when two teams match up and they don't neither plays defense and the first half total is in the 80s, is like 80, even though you're like, wow, that's a high first half total. Just take the over. We saw that multiple times this year with William and Mary. We saw it yesterday with Florida Gulf Coast, and I think we got the same thing here, right? Detroit and Wisconsin Green Bay, right?
Definitely. It seems like a very good spot. I mean, I'm not just going to blindly tail it, but I can completely understand what you guys are up to.
Another game that is like that is VMI against Citadel. Yeah. And I'm going to do the same thing there. I'm going to take Citadel first. And once in a while, Citadel unexpectedly plays a lower scoring game. But, this is the conference tournament game. And I don't think they're going to change up. I think they're going to try to do what they do well even more. And I actually like this first half over a lot more because Detroit can sometimes be slowed down. And Wisconsin Green Bay can go cold from the outside. And if that happens, this first half will go under. I like the Citadel first half a lot more, but I'm definitely going to take that one. Citadel first half over 77.5 -110. That's the line at Bookmaker and Intertops. And I definitely like that one more than the Detroit Wisconsin Green Bay first half over, because Green Bay can go cold from the outside, as we've seen, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
They can. We have seen that. And you're not going to double up and take the full game as well. You're going to do it holistically
on the Citadel one.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. I do have to take a holistic word. And you know what the other problem is with this Wisconsin Green Bay game? When they play in these bigger arenas, sometimes teams that rely on the three-pointer, which Green Bay is, right, Jim? Mm-hmm. Their shooting can go very, very cold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, so that makes me a little bit nervous, that first half over Wisconsin Green Bay, but the Citadel first half does not make me nervous, and I'm definitely going to take that one. 77.5 -110. Let's see another game that's interesting.
I'm going to just quickly interrupt Joe D talking about the winners he gave out yesterday. All winners yesterday, and that's second day in a row that he's just giving straight winners out. So respect Joe D. Keep up the great work. Joe D's the guy who put us on the big screen at the Marriott.
Oh yes, that's right.
And he's just he handed out all winners. Penn State -5.5. Wow. Tulsa -9. Middle Tennessee State -4.
I was on that one. Yes, I was on Middle Tennessee and Tulsa. Yeah, I mean, great call. Great friggin' call. First half it was looking close, and then the class absolutely showed. And Penn State, friggin' great calls. Joe D, great fucking awesome calls there, Joe D. I love it when people just look at a game like Tulsa and are like, no, this is a big talent discrepancy here, and they will roll. Very, very nicely done.
King Real wondering if you got any play on the over-under on the totals with Bradley Drake.
Man, that is a very tough one. Slightly into the under, but I'm not going to be betting that one. And that's also a game that has seen a big market move. Drake beat Bradley twice this year, and now the market has moved in Bradley's favor significantly from -1 to -3 or 3.5. That starts at 3:30 Eastern time. That's a line move that is also eye-popping as well, Jim.
Yeah. No question. No question.
Let's talk about the 2:30 game, Michigan against Nebraska. I forgot who it was, but someone said that they predicted Michigan to win the.
It was Tomor.
Was it Tomor? Right. And so Michigan, struggled to get by Iowa. Now Nebraska, the higher seed, is a 4.5-point underdog here against Michigan. And Nebraska's been an impressive team this year, Jim, right?
They sure have.
Yeah.
Their bigs have come a long way.
Yeah. And now they're getting 4.5 points against Michigan. What do we think about this one, Jim?
I'm going to need a little more time on the game. My first instinct is Michigan seems like the better team here. And obviously they're the favorite. But I've had success with Nebraska, and I don't want that to get in the way of my capping this game. So I just need more time.
I would have a lean to the under on that one. It opened at 135. It's now down to a 134, and I might throw on the first half under. Oh, shit. Wow. Okay, yeah. Wow. There you go. 61 is the first half under. I can't take that one. That is too low of a total. Yeah, Bradley and Drake, I'd have a lean to the under. Nebraska and Michigan, I'd have a lean to the under, but you can get OT, you can get shenanigans at the end. So I'm just going to hold off on that one, but those are both leans. The Buffalo Bowling Green game is very interesting. That goes at 6 o'clock Eastern time, and Buffalo, of course, has not been doing well against the spread on the road recently. In fact, they've had a bunch of straight-up losses as a favorite on the road. Of course, they were an ATS juggernaut in the middle of the season, and then the market caught up with them just as they started to maybe get a little bit lackadaisical. And Bowling Green is a tempting underdog at 7.5. I did get burned taking Bowling Green a couple of times this year, though. They're a bad team. They lost outright at home to Akron, which is not good. Akron's not a great team. And then I thought they might have some value against Ohio, and that was a wrong call, Jim. But definitely tempting to fade Buffalo once again on the road. And then Eastern Michigan, Toledo. I didn't have time to look into the implications for the MAC tournament with the Eastern Michigan-Toledo game. I'm not sure if Toledo has anything to play for here, but they did lose outright to Eastern Michigan recently, so I'm thinking that, and Eastern Michigan's coming off a big win against Western Michigan, so I'm thinking that Toledo might be a good play here. Toledo clinched the MAC West in their last blowout win against Northern Illinois, and someone from the chat box said that was a great lock, no-brainer play, and whoever tailed that guy, I forgot who it was, whoever tailed him had a nice casher on that one. I'm thinking Toledo might be a good play again here. I might have to look into it, and again, Jim and I are going to be doing anything that goes before the 6 o'clock show that we want to add to our record, we will tweet out, right, Jim?
We will. We certainly will, and there's a bunch of nice opportunities for us.
Yeah, all right. So, and then also Citadel, just thinking that Citadel, a pretty impressive team. They have not played well against VMI this year, but Citadel has had some good games. They beat Eastern Tennessee State outright, didn't they? Did they win that game, or did they lose it by 2? Citadel has had some impressive results against some top teams this year. My sense is that they rise to the occasion and do well against VMI here. Although in their actual 2 games against VMI this year, they have not done well. Yeah, Citadel. You can't ignore a road win outright against Eastern Tennessee State recently by Citadel, and some other performances that were pretty decent earlier this year. Again, though, they also lost at home to VMI. So this is a question of matchups, but I'm thinking that Citadel is probably going to pull out a win here. What do you think, Jim? You have any thoughts on that? Any comments? Anyone tweeted you any plays, Jim?
The guys are working feverishly on our Twitter group chat. But I haven't heard them talk about the Virginia Military Citadel game. Although there's been a lot of talk here on the chat. Let me get back up to it. A lot of stuff from Kobe as well, talking about this game. Kobe says this VMI team won both head-to-head matchups straight up and against the spread. Look for a season sweep as the Keydets win as underdogs.
Okay, could easily see that one. I like the over on the first half. I think that's a very strong play, and that's about it. Let's see. And of course, a lot of people, everyone is talking about the Loyola Illinois game, right? Because Loyola Illinois, just an awesome team, repeatedly winning and covering on the road against better teams. They'd be on the road as like a 3.5-point favorite against like one of the other top teams in the conference and win by 10. And you're like, man, this is an impressive team. Northern Iowa, I'm just concerned that Northern Iowa is doing what you do see in conference tournaments. One of the lower ranked teams that still has a good pedigree suddenly turns a corner and they start to do way better than the market expects them game in and game out in the conference tournament. And Loyola Illinois is giving 6 points here, which is getting up there a little bit, right, Jim?
It's a little uncomforting. I know some guys who got on it early at -5. But yeah, it's a little uncomforting. But Bennett Koch, we know he's playing with a sore ankle. Now he has to play 2 games. back to back. Not easy.
Is he playing with us? He was fine yesterday. Had a great game. Did he?
He did have a really good game.
Did he? Was he limping or something or what?
I mean, he did have a week and a half off to rest that ankle, but I'm certain it won't be 100%. Jose Ng likes the over on the Citadel game. Steven Torre likes Loyola to roll by 12.
Yeah, I mean, that on paper, that looks like a bit of a no-brainer thing to bet into, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no no-brainers really. When you start the early games of this tournament, I find there's a lot that can happen.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Let's just go look for some other comments, and then we will move on. I did most of my handicapping on the games before 7 o'clock. I'm going to crunch as much as I can of the games after 7 o'clock. Excuse me, 7 o'clock. I'm also going to be covering MMA later on today with Andreas Hale and another interesting card coming up this weekend. All right. I guess that's about it. Should we move on? Jim, is there anything else you have to say about college basketball?
No, we have a giant NHL and NBA card. I'm ready to get at it.
Yeah. All right. So once again, Jim took Wisconsin first half +7, Wisconsin +12 -108, and I have added Ohio State first half -2, Ohio State money line -185, Wisconsin Green Bay -1.5, Citadel first half over 77.5, and I did take the Wisconsin Green Bay first half over 79, which the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking that's not a good play because it's being played in the Ford Center, right? It's being played in a big arena. That's a high first half total. It's a big conference championship game. You know what? I think I might pull that one. I don't know. All right. Well, we'll. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Whoa. Dilly says, hell yeah, I'm a huge UFC fan. Loshak, I'll give you some great input. Been watching since UFC 100 religiously. Beautiful. That's great. Beautiful. Dilly, I will be doing my call with Andreas Hale later on today, and then there will be a big MMA segment in the 6 o'clock show. So tune into the 6 o'clock show, and when we cover MMA, Dilly, I'll be looking for your opinions. All right, that's it.
Jake Holden says, I was giving my wife the business when I remembered Loshak in the bag was starting, so I pulled out. She was pissed, but I told her, don't worry, Jimmy's NHL picks will get me in the mood again.
There you go. Very, very nice. All right, so let's move on to, what are we moving on to first? NHL. We're going to move on to NHL. Jim, let's throw that record up because Jim, of course, coming off a big day at NHL, the way he handicaps, big swings, big pluses, big minuses.
Yeah,
8 units yesterday, Jim. Very, very nice. 8 units. Let's go over some of the amazing stuff that Jim did yesterday. Let me just bring up his picks to remind everyone. Yeah, great call in the San Jose Chicago game. He liked San Jose on the puck line and the over, and of course both those cashed. The LA Kings on the puck line, great call there. Nashville, great call on the puck line. Pitt lost on the money line, but I had the team total over as well, and we both said we really liked the team total over at 2.5, and I think I put you on that one, didn't I? Say, well, if you like that, why don't you like the team total over? So nice call there. And then a late call on Tampa Bay Dallas over was a great call, and a puck line loser with Minnesota. I knew that was a little bit of a tricky situation, a big road favorite like that. The market, the line was bet down. Arizona had been playing well, but overall, about an 8-unit day for Jimmy the Bag. Nice job. Let's see what you got for us today. What do you have for us, Jim?
It was absolutely wonderful, but I do feel like that San Jose Shark breakdown was the best work I've done all year.
Yes.
Okay, there's a lot to like on this hockey card, so why don't we just start going down in no particular order. Actually, you know what? In fact, let me make it exciting right off the top. I am going to take the Ottawa Senators tonight in Las Vegas. Senators have lost 5 straight, 6 straight road games. They're 7-18-5 on the road, 3-6-1 over their past 10. The Knights have lost 3 out of 5 games. They're still in no danger of losing their lead atop the Pacific Division, but doubt will come creeping in. They've only lost 8 times at home all season. 2 of them have come in the last 4 games. The Knights are dealing with some injuries. James Neal hurt his hand. He's going to be out tonight. After battling the flu, now he's got the hand injury. Nate Schmidt is questionable tonight. The Golden Knights are 24-6-2 at home, and they're 6-3-1 over their past 10. This is a spot where the Senators have no pressure on them whatsoever, and the Vegas Knights have doubt and pressure. And I'm going to take this giant line, money line on the Senators.
That's what I was thinking about, and I was also thinking about the over here. What do you think, Jim?
I like that play, but I have a feeling that the goals are going to start drying up in the desert.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, my note on this one is L.A., but I was like looking at Vegas's line, and my note is Ottawa here, maybe an over. All right, so you're going to take Ottawa on the. So if you think Ottawa's going to win, maybe try to take the alternative puck line, which is probably going to be around 500. What do you think, Jim?
No, I don't need that.
You don't?
I don't, and I know every single person is going to be against me, so I'm not going to even read the chat. I understand that, and it's not. King Rail says it's official. Jimmy hates the Knights. I love what they're doing, and he said that last time when I took the Kings. I love what they're doing, but I see enormous value fading them.
Right. I mean, basically what Jimmy, it's not that he hates the Knights, it's that he thinks they were overachieving and is looking to time their fade. Now, the bad part is that Jim started feeling that way like 2 months ago, and you know what I'm saying? So, you know, at some point you're going to start to be right. The alternative puck line is plus 520. All right, so what do you want here, Jim?
I want the money line.
All right, Jim's going to take Ottawa money line, and let's line chop a little bit here. Plus 220 at the Greek. Plus 220 at the Greek, just for an outright win. And the alternative puck line is plus 520. And I was thinking about the over. You don't like the over here, Jim?
It's not that I don't like it. I would kind of lean to it. But listen to this. So I'm starting to get it. Jeremy M says, Jimmy, I've officially stepped off the Vegas train. Ottawa money line, I'm with you.
Wow.
Kobe says, really like the Sens as well. Wow. Vegas on a 2-game losing streak. Time to start the fade.
Wow. What about the Ottawa team total over at 2.5 plus 102?
I'm getting enough value on the one play, and I don't want to. I don't want to put myself in a situation.
Right.
I mean, obviously, Vegas is a much better hockey team right now.
Right. All right, I might join you on that one, but I'm going to think about it. Now let's jump to a play that I think might be low-hanging fruit. Tell me what you think about this, Jim, all right?
Sure.
Detroit has been very modest scoring in general, right? Whether they win or lose, they're winning or losing, scoring 1, 2, 3 goals. And Winnipeg, very high scoring in general. Winnipeg, of course, coming off the tough loss to Nashville. It's a huge line here for Winnipeg. Is Winnipeg on the puck line maybe no-brainer, low-hanging fruit?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I believe it is. And there was some talk about Thomas Tatar in the dressing room, and there might be some truth to that. This is very interesting. You know, Dylan Larkin loved the way the Wings played in their 2-1 loss at St. Louis. He said, if we play like that consistently for the rest of the season, I think I think we are going to be where we want to be at the end of the year. I mean, I find that extremely difficult to believe, Dylan, unless where you want to be is the golf course. Detroit's won just 2 of their past 6, 7 points back in the second wild card. They now play 8 of their next 9 on the road. They'll be welcoming Mike Green back into the lineup in this last 7 games due to injury. The Jets are coming off quite possibly the most entertaining game of the season in their spirited 6-5 loss at home to the Preds. They will be without Toby Enstrom. He got hurt blocking a shot yesterday in practice. That's a pretty big loss. We don't know the extent of the injury. But Jets are 23-7-2 at home, 6-4-0 over the past 10. I think they're going to put a beating down on the Wings. I don't think the Wings are that bad of a team. I mean, they're only 7 points out of the wild card spot, but I do think this is a nice spot.
Okay, what do you want?
I want the puck line.
All right, Jim's going to take the puck line. The best line right now is at the Greek, plus 140, and I will do the old -1. The money line, best money line is -220, and the best puck line, again, plus 140 at the Greek. That is definitely a play that I feel relatively comfortable with. And then let's move on to another game that's interesting, right? New Jersey at Carolina. New Jersey got a back-to-back loss at Florida. Carolina also on a back-to-back, but they pounded Philly. That was an impressive result from Carolina. Do you think there's some kind of mojo that Carolina has now, and maybe against a vulnerable New Jersey team, we look for another win by Carolina?
I think that you are absolutely right. But first off, the Hurricanes and their community have come together around the death of Jordan Stahl's daughter, and it makes these games very difficult to cap. To me.
Does it? I mean, maybe it's just that we can assume that right now Carolina has a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a
they have a little
mojo.
bit of a boost, but is that going to be enough in some of these games? It's questionable. When these things happen, I kind of want to stay off these games, even though I understand. I don't want my heart to get in the way of the capping.
No, your heart's not getting in the way of the capping. You're saying like they have a big boost now. They're going up against a team that are they going to challenge them or are they beatable? We have Keith Kincaid in goal for the Devils confirmed. What's your take on him?
That he's just an average goaltender.
Right.
The .299 goals against average, .903 save percentage is where he stands. But it's not like the Canes have good goaltending.
Right. Cam Ward, unconfirmed. I don't think you're betting with your heart here. I think the handicapping factor is that Carolina is maybe experiencing a legitimate boost. And if that's the case, on a back-to-back against a mediocre team that's also on a back-to-back, and considering the line, is that something you want to bet into?
Well, G Money NHL's Top Shelf says, I've been a part of National Champs University team, and 4 of the guys had some real tough things happen in their lives. We pulled together. Canes are playing from love right now. I mean, I remember it from playing hockey myself. My centerman, my best friend on the team, his mom died. Mom died of breast cancer, and he, when she died at about 2 a.m, he was the first guy on ice at 4:30 in the morning for early morning practice. He became the star of the team and we supporting him and being his best buddy. Everybody stepped up. In saying that, I'm not making a bet on this game.
No?
No. The Devils are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing 3-2 to the Panthers last night at Sunrise. They had won 3 straight road games before last night's loss. Taylor Hall scored to continue his franchise record 23-game point streak. Schneider was in net last night, so as you said, Kincaid will be in there tonight. I'm not going to... I understand it. I understand what everybody's saying, but I'm not going to make a bet on this game.
Okay, I think I will. I'm going to take Carolina -1. While I look for the best lines for that, Jim, what else are you liking from the NHL today?
I have another big dog, and I know my man Ulysses Hayes is on this. I am on the New York Rangers tonight. They're coming off a wild 6-5 overtime win at Vancouver on Wednesday night, stopping their 7-game losing streak. Lundqvist made 50 saves, but did not look good. Ryan Spooner got 3 assists against the Canucks and now has 5 points in his first 2 games with the club. I'm also a big Nemesnikov fan. I love what they did with that trade. I think this kid's got a lot of potential. Rangers are 10-18-2 on the road, and they're 3-6-1 over their past 10. You mentioned that sometimes when these teams bring up the guys from the AHL, they start trying harder. They start feeling good in the dressing room.
Because they're getting a chance.
I think that's happening. Miss J says, I took the dog Carolina yesterday, went with the team support narrative. I think Jimmy's right. I agree with you guys. Z-Ball said, I would pound the Hurricanes, Jimmy. I get it. I'm not doing it.
By the way, the lines are -134 on the money line and +216 on the puck line. So I'm making Carolina -1 an official pick. All right, Jim.
The Flames are doubting themselves, and they're already a bad home team. And I'm getting a huge line here to take the Rangers, who feel good about themselves. Flames jumped out to a 2-0 lead before the Avs came back with 5 straight. They're now out of the playoff spot. We don't know if Rittich or Gillies will start. They're just 14-14-4 at home. They've lost 4 more games than they've won at home. I can't believe they're...
Streaming again.
King Rails has streamed in like Jimmy Fagan the Nights.
We're back, guys.
We're back?
We are, yeah.
How come I'm not seeing it on the monitor? What?
Oh, let me put it.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Oh, we're live again. Oh my God. All right. Sorry about that, folks. As everyone knows, we cannot afford to buy the most elite internet that's available here. We have to buy the discount internet at SBR. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And so once in a while, the cheap stuff drops out on us, right, Jim?
But we're back.
Yeah, we are back, thankfully, and I apologize for that. So where the hell were we? Let me see.
I was talking about Florida.
Is everyone back with us? Have people been? Are there funny comments coming in? Are people still watching the show? Yeah. Is everything good? Yeah. All right, let's start off where we. Let me just save my comments here. And I believe the last thing you were talking about was the Rangers, right? Or what was it?
Florida.
Florida. All right. Tell us about that, Jim. While I get everything set up here to get my comments saved again.
I love dogs. I wish I had the Sabres in Tampa. I wish. Desperately that I had done it. It was a lean, and they'd cost me so much money taking them, and I'd love to take them here. But in saying that, did I not finish the Rangers breakdown?
Rangers +177 was Jim's last pick. We don't know exactly when the stream cut out, but Jim liked the Rangers. What do you want to do? Do you want to just quickly take? Because we do want to get to basketball, Jim. Hey, Juanma, when the internet cuts out, are they going to dock that off of our minutes of the show? We still have to cut it. We still have to leave.
I think that when the internet goes down, it's just the show gets cut.
Oh my God! All right, well, Jim, we do have to get to NBA, but all right. So, do you want just for 2 seconds talk about why you like the Rangers, and then move on to your next pick?
I just feel like there's a lot of pressure in the Flames dressing room. We know that they've lost 4 more games than they've won at home. We don't know if Rittich or Gillies is going to start, but whoever is going to be thrown into the fire. I just think Rangers have a good feeling in their dressing room right now, and I just think I'm getting value.
Okay, move on to your next pick. Jimmy the Bag.
I'm taking the Panthers. I was a big fan of both these teams when the season started, and looked like I was wrong about both these teams. I may be wrong about the Sabres, but I was right about the Panthers. I knew that their offense was very good. Now, they didn't start rolling until they separated Barkov and Huberdeau, so they had 2 very dangerous forward lines. Sabres coming off an impressive 2-1 win at Tampa. Chad Johnson was excellent in that and is expected to get the start again. He's allowed just 7 goals in his last 5 games, .942 save percentage. Sabres have won 3 of their past 4 with wins over the Lightning and the Bruins. Nice to get Evander Kane out of that dressing room. Sabres are 11-15-7 on the road, 5-4-1 over their past 10. The Panthers are on the second half of a back-to-back after beating the Devils 3-2 at home last night. They are 11-3 over their last 14. Their current 4-game winning streak is over all teams that are in the playoffs as we speak. Barkov scored twice now with 60 points for the first time in his career. Luongo is playing very well, but as the Panthers are on the back-to-back, it's unclear who will start tonight. Yes, Trevor Loudon says Lehner confirmed. That makes this so much easier. He looks awful. Thank you for that, Trevor Loudon. Also, we're all getting together in Toronto in a couple weeks. Okay, I'm on the Panthers puck line.
Okay, let me just find all right, the Panthers puck line. Let me just find Panthers puck line. All right, hold on. That would be plus 150. Plus 150 is the best line right now that we can give you. Where the hell's my pen? What did I do with my pen? Oh shit.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you got a pen, Jim? All right, thanks very much. All right, we're back. We're back. All right, Jim's going to take Florida minus puck line plus 150. Plus 150. That is the best line market wide. And once again, if you have 5 dimes, which we don't use in this show, plus 155 is what they have. All right, very nice. Let's get to all your picks, Jim, and then let's move on to NBA and cover as much NBA as we possibly can.
Sure. I'm on the Islanders. I'm not going to take them on the puck line. I'm just going to take them. Pretty easy to explain. Habs won the opener of this home and home. I just don't think they're going to sweep it. They've lost 8 of 10, but have collected points in 6 of those games. They're in the midst of a 12-day road trip, longest franchise history. 3,412 miles of air travel. Price is out, so Niemi is expected to start. He's been playing quite well in his last 5 starts. He's looked pretty good. He's only allowed 10 goals. One of those starts he was pulled against the Knights, but .923 save percentage. Islanders have lost 4 straight. I believe they're going to break out of this. They've allowed the most goals in the NHL, and on this streak, they've lost 3 games to where they've allowed 3 goals or fewer. They're angry. I'm not sure if it's going to be Halak or Gibson. I expect Halak. And it is
Halak confirmed.
Okay, good. That helps. Gibson will get the start because they're on the back-to-back. I like this spot, and I'm taking the Islanders.
I was thinking the same, but the line has gone down a little bit. Why would that be, Jim? It opened in the minus 130s for the Islanders. Now we can give you minus 117 at Bet Online.
Wow, that is an interesting market change.
Yeah.
Yes.
Matt Beast with a comment. You guys are the best show on SBR. You guys should make the call when to go off the air. I hear you.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was a great comment. We do have to keep it rolling.
That is why Slew has just come in saying Lindgren is starting for Montreal.
Okay,
and he's looked very good.
Right.
He's looked very good. No question about it. I'm still taking it.
What do you think about the under? Skooma Steve likes the over. All right, let's just move on. Jim likes the Isles money line minus 117 because we do want to get to NBA. Jimmy the Bag, what else do you want from NHL?
I'm just making sure that those are my only plays. Rangers. I'm off the Wild Avalanche at this point. I'm going to take I've got 2 puck lines to finish off the card. I'm taking the Predators on the puck line against the Canucks. I know this is a tough Western Canadian swing, and they're on a back-to-back. I just feel like they're so much better than the Canucks. I won't give you my whole breakdown because we've got to get to NBA. I'm on the Predators puck line. Louis Eriksson, although he's not that important, he's been shelved for the rest of the season, and I just feel like the Predators are rolling.
Okay, the Predators, let's find it. Best line will be plus 180 on the puck line. Is that it, Jim?
No, I'm on the Ducks puck line. I'm going to beat up on these Jackets. I think these Jackets just have a terrible coach who just gets in their head. He after they have these latest acquisitions, Vanek and Cole and Letestu, he says, I sense that they're looking over the shoulder. Some of the guys that have played here forever, what a complete total asshole. That's what he wants. He wants these guys to play in fear for their jobs all the time. And people
Sounds like SBR, actually. No, kidding around.
People start zoning, just stop listening to Tortorella. He's such an asshole. I'm on the Ducks puck line.
Okay, plus 211 is the current line at Pinnacle. Is that it, Jim?
That's it.
All right, so just to review, and then we'll get to as much NBA as we possibly can. Jim is on the Islanders money line, minus 117. Florida puck line, plus 150. Nashville puck line, plus 180. Anaheim puck line, plus 211. Ottawa money line, plus 220. Winnipeg puck line, plus 140. Rangers money line, plus 177. And I have given Winnipeg minus 1. Carolina Panthers minus 1. And that's it for now in terms of NHL, but I'm probably going to add a whole bunch more picks in the afternoon show in NHL, because this is a big card. I just didn't have time to guide doing MMA, all the college basketball shit. All right, now let's move on to NBA, where Jim and I are both coming off of a pretty crappy day. It's a huge NBA card today. What do you like here, Jim?
First off, I like the Magic against the Pistons. Magic at home. I'm going to take the Magic on the first half line, because they're just trend after trend of them screwing up and playing terribly in second halves. Yes. They scored 63 in the first half versus the Raptors, 41 in the second half. They did the same in their 112-105 loss to the Thunder, scoring 62 in the first half, 43 in the second half. They're just 11 and 18 at home. Even though I had the Pistons when they trashed the Bucks, it was just because the Bucks are terrible in the paint and can't rebound, and it's not that I think the Pistons are that good. I like the Magic here. I won't get into the whole breakdown because we need to keep moving.
Oh, you want the full game or the first half?
Just the first half.
Right, that's exactly what I was thinking. Plus 1, minus 104 is the best line there. My note on this one is definitely look for Detroit on the second half, especially depending on how the first half goes. And I was thinking Detroit second half might be good. Orlando first quarter and Detroit full game. What do you think? Sounds good, right, Jim?
It does.
What about first quarter?
No, I'm not going to add those plays right now.
Okay.
I feel like I have one good night, one bad night, one good night, one bad night. I'm not consistent in my NBA picks right now, and I don't want to get too much into it. Jose Ng is on the under. Nas Lee is on the Magic full game. Ulysses likes Detroit money line. I get it all. Spread King Dingaling says bad move, Jimmy. Jose Rodriguez says Pistons are inconsistent without Jackson. Yeah, they're 1, 2, 3 are terrible. I like this spot here.
All right, let's quickly talk about Golden State Atlanta. I had a good call on Golden State under against Washington, and I'm thinking we might see the same thing here, right? Atlanta is a huge home dog. Is Golden State really going to be motivated here to run up the score? Maybe, but I don't know. What about another under here?
That's a really interesting point. I really like that idea. Warriors 21-3 against the East, 12-1 on the road against the East. Warriors won 8 straight overall, and coming off that 109-101 win at Washington. Durant looking great. Warriors have a 5-game winning streak against the Hawks, won 10 of the last 11 games. They continue to dominate third quarters, as we've been talking about for the last few weeks. They beat the Wizards 27-14 in the third, 24-7 on the road. Hawks snapped a 4-game losing streak with that win over the Pacers. They're 8-4 against Western Conference teams at home. They had won 7 straight over Western Conference teams until the Lakers smashed them. Hawks are 14-18 at home. What's the line that you'd begin?
227 hasn't moved at all since opening.
That's very interesting. You know, I'm not going to make that play immediately, but I kind of like Atlanta to cover, and I think right now I will take Atlanta on the first half.
On the first half. All right, I'm going to take Atlanta on the under 227, minus 110. That's a market number. And Jim's going to take the Hawks. That's a ballsy play on the first half. Atlanta first half. Best line would be plus 7.5, minus 105 at UWager. Other places have 110. We do use UWager, so plus 7.5, minus 105 will be the line that Jim will get. All right, that was the only play that I was definitely thinking about. I didn't have a chance to cover about 6 of the games, only 4 of them. Toronto-Washington is obviously an interesting one. Toronto basically just continues to roll. Right, beat all covers. Both these teams in great ATS. So this is a pass for you, Jim?
It is a pass. Yeah. I can't. I mean, I love my team, but the Wizards are just continually playing well. Raptors are coming off just destroying the Magic. The 117-104 flattered the score flattered the Magic. And the newbie sprained his ankle. He's become more and more important, pretty much out of nowhere. We did not expect him to be this important. Wizards are in a very difficult stretch. The Warriors, champion Warriors, come in. They play them on Wednesday night. Now they welcome the East leading Raptors. This is their 3rd game in 4 days. If there was a time to fade the Wizards, I would say it's probably now. They're just playing so well. Bradley Beal was held to 8 points, 3 for 15 shooting against the Warriors. I expect him to bounce back. Scott Brooks was just named NBA Eastern Conference Coach of the Month. They went 8-4 in that month, including 6-1 on the road. They've been extremely impressive. And one of those wins was at home, 122-119 win over the conference leading Raptors. Omar says Raptors, take it. Big El Corleone says I like Toronto. I might make a move here, and I did just cash my Wisconsin first half bet. Beautiful start to the day. I'm off this game.
Okay, interesting stuff. Tom Marino says Atlanta is an up-tempo team, should play to Golden State's strength. Kid2 Groove says Golden State is starting to play good defense. So I might be on the wrong side here. So someone's saying that they like the over. Someone else said that they like the over. More comments coming in saying they like the over. Jose Ang likes the Warriors over, and so that's not good to read. Tomarino again saying that Atlanta's an up-tempo team, and that will play into Golden State's strength. So maybe that does lean to the over. And King Rail support the over. King Rail says when the starters for Golden State come out late, the bench still puts up points over in Hawks game. This is not good. All the people we respect liking the over. I might pull that line by afternoon, and I'll be interested to see where that line does move. All right, what else do you like here, Jim?
I am on the Los Angeles Clippers this evening. I see a bounce-back spot for them. They were in a very unfair situation. Second game off a back-to-back after playing Denver, being up in that height, playing that game in the mountains, and then having to fly back for the rested Rockets sitting there. Not fair. They had averaged 126.5 points per game before that. Bradley's out, going to be out probably for the remainder of the year. Gallinari's been day-to-day with a hand bruise. Clippers are a half game out of a playoff spot, and just 3 games behind the fourth place Spurs. They have a ton to play for, and I think they come in and I think they smash the Knicks. Now, I've noticed this line has been going down. Now it's at 8.5, which I think is a fine spot to be in. I'm on the Clippers full game.
Okay, Jim's going to take the LA Clippers minus 8.5, minus 104 is the best line right now at Pinnacle. Minus 8.5, minus 104. All right, what else do you like here, Jim?
You know, those are the plays that I like, and I'm not forcing any action, but I've capped every game in its entirety. So, what game would you guys like to talk about?
I guess let's see. Let me see what is interesting. Well, Charlotte, Philly. Philly's on a back-to-back, right? They popped Cleveland in their last game, and that game went under. Charlotte's off the blowout loss at Boston, but before that, they had really been undervalued and covered by decent margins game in and game out since the break. What do you think? Is this after the Cleveland game? Is this maybe a letdown spot for Philly? Maybe Charlotte. What do you think?
I don't like this Charlotte basketball team. So yes, I do think this is a bit of a letdown spot for the Sixers. That was a very impressive job they did last night. They'd lost 11 straight times to the Cavs. They had 6 players in double figures. The 76ers have held 10 of their last 12 opponents to 105 points or fewer, and they lead the league in rebounds at 47 a game. They're 19-10 at home. Hornets are coming off an embarrassing 134-106 loss at Boston on Wednesday in a game that I saw coming. And I just only took the over in that game, and I beat myself up for not taking Boston as well. With Howard having a rib injury, they're just bad. After holding 5 of their previous 6 opponents to 105 points or fewer, all wins. The Hornets allowed Boston to shoot 62.1% from the field on Wednesday. Kid Gilchrist is questionable with a hamstring. Zeller questionable with a knee injury. Ziggy Balls leans Hornets after Philly's big win. I get that.
A lot of people leaning Hornets. Look at this. Tom Marino says, I think Charlotte's in a good spot off of being humiliated. Howard should be able to match up with Embiid. Big El Corleone says, I'll never put money on Hornets.
We don't know what's going on with this rib injury, and we know, those of you who played sports, that rib injuries heal very slowly. I would be tentative. I would wait till later in the day to get as much information you can on how Howard's feeling. Get on their Twitter, team Twitter handle, get it, whatever you can to make sure that he's good, because that's an injury that sticks with you. So at this point, I'm off this game, but I can understand why you guys are on the Hornets, and I'm going to keep looking at it.
Okay, here's comments on the Jazz game is very interesting. Did you look at that one? The Jazz, and wait, let me just find it. Or tell me, I'll look for the comment. Tell me what you have to say about the Jazz game.
Wolves are on the second half of a back-to-back as well. They lost to Portland 108-99 last night. Starting with Portland, now the Wolves face 8 straight opponents in March with records above 500. They're now 2-1 without Butler. Even without Butler, this Wolves team has 5 players in double figures. They will need to keep scoring because their defense is terrible. What I noticed from that game last night, and it wasn't just Portland, it was that the Wolves, with this bigger lineup, with all this height, they're slowing down. They're slowing down. Now, I see unders here, but that goes against all the trends that happen when these two teams play each other. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make the move. The Jazz offense has completely fallen off since Rubio got hurt. He's come back for 3 games. Doesn't look like the same player, averaging 8.3 points, 4.3 assists in 3 games he's been back for. The Jazz have lost 2 of 3, coming off a 96-85 loss at home to the Rockets. They've averaged 18 turnovers over those 3 games. Donovan Mitchell continues to play great. 3rd straight month, Western Conference Rookie of the Month, but he had, 9 turnovers in that 8 turnovers and went 1 for 9 from 3 against the Rockets. Wolves have beaten the Jazz both times they played this year, but I feel like this is a different spot for them. Spread King Dingaling says Jazz might play the day. Juan Juarez says, thanks, Jimmy, for the first half Wisconsin pick.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Money, let's get this fucking money.
Lou H says Jazz Wolves over 209. Well-rested Jazz team will look to shine on national TV. Over in Wolves last 8 out of 10 with an average of 228 points scored per game. So Lou H liking the over, even though, as you correctly pointed out, Jim, the Wolves do look like they're slowing down a little bit. He also thinks a well-rested Jazz team will look to shine on national TV. So maybe the Jazz plus the points is the way to go here.
You know, I had someone just let me. Yes, my man Lou. My man Lou H sent me this this morning. He says, Bag, I like this pick tonight. Maybe you can look into it a little more and cap on the morning show. He says, Jazz, Wolves over 209. He says the total has gone over 8 of the last 10 times they've played for a combined average score of 228.5. This is a nationally televised game, which should help too. And I get that stuff. I get the trends, but when I'm watching this Wolves team, I see a much slower pace.
Jose Yang says Jazz easy money. Sorry, I meant minus the points, not plus the points, even though it's a high line. Maybe the Jazz easy money giving that many points to Minnesota. What do you think?
I'm going to need more time on this game, and I want to go over what happened in the Wolves game last night because they were leading, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like their pace is going to be much slower with all these bigs on the court. So my instinct is to go against the trends and take the under, but I'm going to take more time on this.
Okay. Other comments, and here you go. Tomorino Tomor says Minnesota's bench is horrible. Worse with Butler out. I don't think they have the depth to play 2 straight at altitude against a hungry Utah team. Utah might be a great play here, Jim.
Utah might be a great play here. I'm going to look into this much more in the afternoon. And then another point here is Jason M says, my mate reckons Nuggets will win by at least 10 points. Any thoughts? Well, yeah. First off, you take a look at this game and you say, of course, Millsap's back. They're going against the worst team in the league, a team that didn't win a game all of February. But can you trust this Denver Nuggets team on the road? And we haven't been able to all season. So I don't know why now would be any different. My initial play was the Nuggets, and I'm not going to make it at this point. Nuggets coming off back-to-back home losses, Rockets and Clippers. Good news is that Millsap returned after missing 42 games with a wrist injury, 9.7 boards in 23 minutes. The offense is clicking and will only improve with Millsap. They've scored 114 or more points in 9 of their last 10 games, a stretch where they've gone 7-3. The Nuggets led the league in scoring in February at 119.7 points per game, shooting 50.1% overall, second to Golden State's 52.6 and 39.4% on three-pointers. That was 4th behind the Warriors, Hornets, and Lakers. Now they will play 8 of their next 11 games against clubs with losing records. Are they going to start smashing? I don't know. I cannot trust this team on the road. They've beaten the Grizzlies both times they faced them this year, and they've been really low-scoring games. 104-92 and 87-78, both games coming in Denver.
And Memphis is losing a ton of people tonight, right? How many guys do they have in the rotation?
They're just their rotation is an absolute mess. And they've lost 11 straight. Didn't win all of February. They've allowed 109 or more points in each of their last 6 losses. So again, are you just going to go against the trends or go against what's happened in the first 2 times these teams have met and go with your guy? This is a very tricky capping situation. So you have the team that with the Nuggets that scored the most points in the NBA over February against the team that scored the least amount of points in February, 94.2. That's a full 7.5 points worse than the number 29 team on that list, the Chicago Bulls. This is a tricky spot. David Stewart said the Memphis is a mess, and Gasol called them out. But Gasol, I was reading some of the comments Gasol said, and one was, a joke about how do you handle this while I go home and drink red wine. I mean, I don't know how serious they're taking this. This is not as easy as it looks.
Does feel like, or maybe just the Memphis team total under, because it feels like it's got under and Denver written all over it. But in case you're off on one of those, maybe just the Memphis team total under.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I think that might be the
everyone
spot.
liking Memphis here. Denver here. May less pay less way says Denver under 15-6 in series. Nas Lee says Denver win and cover. Ziggy Ball says I lean Nuggets, but be careful. No one's saying they like Memphis here, which might be a trap. Damian Jankovic says yes, Denver. It's the best play of the day, laying 100 on them. Wow. $100. I assume that's dollars.
Dion Willis says, stay off the Denver game, y'all. And I know why he's saying that.
Yeah.
Because this looks very easy.
Yeah.
And we know that it's not. We know the Nuggets can't be trusted on the road.
All right, I'm just going to quickly check what the Memphis team total would be. It's 103, Jim. What about an under on the Memphis team total?
I think that's the play.
You think that's the play?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to throw that on there right now. I'm going to do a little bit of quick line shopping at the Heritage, see if Heritage can beat that number. We do have to wrap it up, right, Juanma?
Yeah, sadly, man. But yeah, you guys can take a.
I saw on the schedule there's a video coming up right after this, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right. So we do have to wrap this up. Sorry that we had the technical outage that made us lose a bunch of minutes, but we will be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time today.
Before we do go, I think that is the play.
Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. Before we go, we're going to check. We're going to do a little bit of line shopping here, get the best line for the Memphis team total under, and then Jim and I are both going to be on that. And once again, we'll be back at 6 o'clock. We'll be covering all the college basketball games with 7 on. We'll look into what. Go
One
ahead.
quick thing. My man Nas Lee said that OKC is going to choke. He says, I follow basketball. Trust me, Jimmy. And that's a very interesting game in Phoenix tonight. This is another team, just like the Nuggets, that just look terrible on the road, and that you can't believe what you're seeing when they're playing at home because they're just god awful on the road. That's a very exciting game to cap. But at this point, I'm just going to jump on that team total under. And what is it?
103 minus 107. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Memphis team total under 103 minus 107. All right, I guess we're going to wrap it up. But once again, we'll be back at 6 o'clock. We'll cover all these pro sports once again in depth, and we'll take a deeper look into the college basketball games after 7 o'clock. And again, there will be an MMA segment where I'll discuss what Andreas and I talk about in our preview of UFC 222 coming up this weekend in Las Vegas. Going to be a great show at 6 o'clock. Will Mimi make an appearance? My guess is yes. My prediction is yes, Jim. But we'll see. We'll see. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. We'll see you at 6 o'clock Eastern time.